Oh, hello. I am out in the woods finally. It's Sunday, so it will not be an overnighter because I have to work tomorrow. But get out here and hang out and have some lunch and a little fire. And I think it'll still be good. It'll be good for the soul. So that's what we're doing. A little snow. It's like 26 degrees out, I think. So it's a little chilly, but we are dressed for the weather. We found our little spot here between these two trees. Problem is all these dead branches are going to be in the way of the tarp. So I'm going to clear those out and that'll be good little kindling. They are dead, so don't freak out when I break them off. See? Dead. D-E-D. Dead. I think we've got the space cleared here. So we're gonna go from there. I think I'm gonna run just a ridge line across. I have a 5x7 tarp, and then we're gonna just kick it back and have a lean-to. And I have a little fire pit. I will show you guys. Sit down here. So, you may remember this, my little pad here so my knees don't get wet. This jacket was my little $10 surplus find. I camped in Nevada and wore this, and it's incredibly warm for the weight. You gotta have a layer underneath it because it gets kind of itchy because it is actually 100% wool. And I wish it had pockets, but it's really warm. I'm actually a little warm right now. I might take it off in a minute. But we got our firewood. I think you can see that on the edge of the frame stacked up. I got a couple new pieces of gear because I like stuff. I like trying stuff. And yeah, we're gonna have a little fire in my fire pit, my new above ground fire pit. It's super heavy for backpacking distances, but it's fine for, I didn't come too far. I think I'm like 200 yards into the woods from the truck. So I just want to come out and have lunch. To avoid this, it's all green. We don't want to kill it, but I have a little lunch and a little fire and a little chill, a little fireside chat with Tony action. So yeah, if you guys noticed, my intro has not been in the last few videos because my computer I edited with when I lived in Nevada has my intro saved in there and it's in storage. So the computer I'm editing on now does not have it saved. So I have to take my lazy butt to storage and get it and then take the file and transfer it. That's all it takes, but just haven't done it because I've been busy. So, but you're still watching. So we'll get the intro back at some point. Maybe. Probably. Today's choice of bag setup is a REI day pack I got. I have my little gray one I always hike with, and I want to get a bigger one that I could actually do like overnights out of even, or in the winter take like heavier stuff and bigger gear, because that one was a 20 liter. This is a 28 liter. A little more room, but it's still pretty small. It sits really high on the back. I really like it so far. And then I just have a whoopee attached to the bottom for a little blanket. I got my water bottle, and there's all kinds of goodies in here. So maybe I'll do a little side video on that. We're getting some scratches on it now. But yeah, the whoopee is just Canadian jam knotted to the bottom because it doesn't have loops. But you can pretty much tie anything to anything. Canadian jam knots. Canadian A. All right, kids and coaches, I drug all this stuff out because I just did a gear video. So if you want to see it, you can go watch that whenever that posts. Some of this stuff's going to stay out because I'm going to use it. But some of it's not. So I'm going to get the tarp set up, and then I think the next step will be my little fire pit, and then I can get a fire going. So I'll have a little shelter, a little fire, a little kukia with some coffee. Don't need an emergency candle tin right now. Thank you, Jesus. And then we'll be cooking. We'll be cooking soon. can zip my bag. Smart. Little sidebar here. If you haven't made a tie out on the tree to like hang your bag, you can usually find a spot directly under the tree that's not as wet or is actually dry because the branches have kept stuff from hitting the ground. So put your bag down there so it doesn't get soaked. All right, let me get this tarp set up. I don't have a ridgeline in there, which is a foul on me. I need to probably put one in there, but I do have 550 cord always, so that is what we're going to use to set up this ridgeline. Hey, Ranch, I'll let you quit poking me in the back of the dome here. So, I can pull this out. As per usual, I think I talked about in another video, I have a bowline knot in the end so that I can loop it around the tree and just put a peg in it, and then I'll do a taut line with the other end. So let's do that action. So if we go here, up on this tree, a tree hug. So then what we'll do is you come around, you pull your line. It's not that bad. It's like 25 degrees, but I'm warm. Through it like that, and then you put a stickle in there, a stickle, like this one, and it will hold it. Alrighty, that's a dead stick, so we don't want to get too crazy. Next. So I cleared out enough branches on this tree to get around it to do this shelter, but I have a ton of cordage because this is not a standard ridge line. It's just 550 cord, so we're going to bunch her up, buttercup, and then try not to poke my eye out or put a hole in my face. An extra one. Come around the tree, pull it tight like a tiger, and then we're going to do a taut line hitch. Normally it looks better because I have a wad of crap in my hands. Excuse me, little branch. So remember this. You're coming underneath it. You go over on the inside with your massive bundle of crap. 2 on the inside. So it's 2. And then you do 1 on the outside. Sorry, probably just really confused everybody. My cordage is a wad of crap. I'm going to go over and back down through. So now that's that way. Then if we want to tighten it, we just pull it. Make that cord taut like a tiger. I'm leave it a little loose for now until I figure out my height. For the extra, what you can do is take this and wrap it up. And then you can kind of loose like overhand knot in itself. And then roll it, and it'll snug up on it. Just enough to hold it up in there. Bam. Looks like crap, but it works. Alrighty, what we're going to do here is get the tarp out. There's a peg. They're silver, so I will probably lose them in the snow. Our tarp. Hey, I do have a line in there. Thought I was more prepared than that, but I didn't see it earlier when I was screwing with it. All right, it's a 5x7, so obviously it's longer one way. So we're gonna put the long way between the trees, betwixt them. We're gonna stake out the back. The way I'm gonna do this is toggles, because I don't have my regular guy line, or my ridge line. So I need a stick. It's like I could find one from the nature or something. I don't know if that's gonna be sturdy enough. It's pretty weak too. Anyways, this is why I left it loose. So what we'll do is we'll pull a loop through. And then we'll put the stick in there to hold it. This would not be a good weather. If it was bad weather, it would not stay very well, but it's not. Why is it not sitting? Why is it not sticking? Stick. because it's not tight. Alright, anyway, she's on there. Right, so now that it's basically on there, we can go over here. Should have cleared the shoes out and tighten that up. Like that. Tight, son. Pull that one out. I didn't put these on. If I was camping, I would, so that they had more connection points. But you would put these on as well. These two little fellas. So I'm gonna stake the back out, and should be cooking with peanut oil. So there's one steak. How about another steak? Two different kinds. Shocker. I think I've got somewhat of a hammering stick here that I found on the walk-in. That's another thing. When there's snow on the ground, you find a good piece of something, you might want to take it, because you might not find dry wood. Put that back there, and yeah, it's nice soft ground. I happen to have those carabiners on there from some other setup, and they just are in a couple places. There's obviously not one in this corner, but we got loops, bud. We got loops there, bud. Don't turn on me, my guy. Alrighty, that'll do it, donkey. Now, what I would say too is, if you're gonna camp, pull the back out and stake it down. Then you can readjust different stuff, but it'll make it tighter, and it kind of pulls the back of the tarp out, like such. See what I mean? I just want a little wind block. Looking pretty schwanky. The tarp's up. I got hot, so I let my head out a little bit. Now I just need to put down the blanket so I have somewhere to sit, and then I think the fire pit's gonna go right here. Some Wawa here. I don't have a ton of time just because it gets dark so early now. Got enough time to screw around though, and to get into some stuff. So, also another thing you could do too is, if you didn't have anything to sit on, you could grab a bunch of pine needles and put them in there, which would also make like a bed if you wanted to stay overnight. It'd be pretty sweet. We've got a big pile of stickles here for our fire. It's gonna be good. Some lunch and some coffee. I'm thinking, you guys have seen me use these a bunch. These are the Canadian jam knots. I got the tails just tucked up underneath there. You can just take it, wiggle it. You don't take it all the way off the bag, just enough to get your blanket out, and you can leave them attached. So this is not waterproof, but it's water resistant. So I'm gonna use it to sit on and probably double or triple it over. Roll this thing out. I'm thinking Abe Lincoln. This does make a pretty good layer for trying to camp, but you don't want it to be your sole source when it's this cold out, or you're gonna get probably die of frostbite, honestly. Hey, there's a spot I sewed. I think that'll be good, don't you? Peoples of the YouTubies. Excuse me, small dead weed. Go on, yeah. All right, now we can get the fire pit set up. You probably noticed when I was walking around, I obviously have a fixed blade knife with me. This is my more Bushcraft Black. It'd been a while, so I thought we'd break her out. And then on the other hip is a new accessory for these hills, is bear spray, because we're in bear country. So I hope I never have to use it. I want to see them from a safe distance because I love bears, but I don't want one to eat me. So, you know, that's things on the bucket list. It's not that. It's not getting eaten by a bear. Know what I mean? So we got it though. This thing's amazing. I really might pay somebody to sew pockets into it though. Okay, so to the brass tacks here. This is that really wet, sticky snow. It's sticking to everything. This is Illuminators of the Northwest. Yuko flat pack. I think this is the medium, or maybe it's the small. Doesn't matter. It's about this size. I think it's a little less 12 inches long. Comes in this sweet canvas pouch, but it's kind of heavy. Like, I think it's like 2 pounds, which is a lot for a backpacking type thing. But if you're somewhere that you can't have a fire on the ground, which I can here, but I wanted to try it out, why not? It's snug in here. like a bug, a rug or something. I'm hoping it stretches out a little bit as I use it. Because right now, it's about impossible to get out of here. I'm gonna tear it. Probably didn't help that it's cold. Sorry, this is a new thing. Okay, we got the grill. We got the actual stove. See, Yuko shiny chrome flat pack. We're gonna put a dent in that shiny chrome today. And this is a support for the little tray in it. Yeah, know what I'm saying? So, we'll get this thing set up and then we're gonna have a little fire. Make a little lunch. So quiet. Another thing I like about this too is you could kind of set it underneath your shelter. See, it packs like that, the legs come down, and then it just kind of falls open. And then the legs cross, and then you set her down. Then you don't have a fire on the ground. The little, oh, I think that's, never mind. I think that's to remove it. I'm goofy, I know. So that just sits in those slots like that, down in there. It's your little fire kit, and then you got your grill top. So I'm going to get a fire set up. Make sure she's stable, Clark. Here's what we're thinking. Take the grill off. I'm going to get some of these sticks ready. Just put them in the bottom so that we have a little base going there. And then I might try to find a piece of bark and put some fat wood shavings on it, with the fat wood sticks I brought, and then use that to get started with a steel. I also have a lighter. I do have storm-proof matches so that we can use those options too. I just like the fire steel because it's coolio. All right, should be enough for that. Set the top of the side here. Get a piece of bark. I spy bark. So another thing that bark is good for is that you could actually, you can do your shavings on it and light it and then set the whole thing in the fire. So let's see if we can't do that. Smaller one here. All right, so use the back of your knife. This way it's good to have a 90-degree spine. And see, it makes, where's my camera at? Over here. Makes the little fuzzy stuff. Focus, focus. No focus. Okay, you can tell what it is. You can smell the turpentine in it too, in the fat wood. It's one of my favorites. It's a outdoorsy dealio. So you want to get a good amount of that. Here's snow running in the back of my shelter here. Because that'll light. Another thing that you can do is curls for the girls. In this case, for your fire. Some little curlettes. Because it's kind of like when you build a fire and you do a pencil lead, pencil thumb wrist. You're just doing that with your starting material. Let's go this end. You want to, when you have a 90-degree for it to get on, it works better. It also usually works better when you have a bigger surface to put it on. I didn't bring my regular sit pad. I guess I could use the one I have. Alrighty, put that in a little pile there. I think that'll be good. What do you guys think? Think so? It's lit. I'll just transfer it into there. Put some little twiglets on there. As you witnessed, that did not go as planned. I made a little feather stick, so we're gonna do it again. We'll get her going. All right, we're good. We're good that round. So let's get water going for this. I need to get my pot out of my bag, and then we'll get water on the fire, and then we'll make some lunch. Keep my pad under my butt so my butt doesn't get cold. I have the little gold dust Folgers Noir. I've talked about it before. It's really good instant coffee. So that is what we're gonna do for coffee. I have stuff for cowboy coffee too, but I just want a quick one. And this usually tends to work really well, so it's really good. Put the little tab you ripped off in there and then fold it over. You don't have to worry about that little tab disappearing on you and going all over the place. So we'll get some water. The fire going here. I didn't know I'd be hiking as far. I would have brought stainless steel stuff. I like to use the stainless steel. It's a little heavier deer tay. But yeah, it's a good little spot. I could totally do an overnight, like right here. It would be fine. I don't see anything that would like deadfall. I mean, there's a lot of little branches above me, but I don't see anything that would cause like major concern. I would probably clear them out a little bit more if I was staying the night, but since I'm just hanging out, I think I'll be okay. So we'll get that. I don't need that on there. The lid so it boils faster. Get that cooking with peanut oil or canola oil if you're some people, depending on your upbringing. It gets a little chilly, but it's fun. It's fun, right? Oh, that's burning black. Oh, it's probably because that fat wood that's in there. No bags. I don't even remember what I brought for lunch. We should find out. I brought tuna and ramen, but I don't know that I really want to mess with cooking the ramen. We'll see how this little fire goes. I have no idea what time it is. I can't seem to watch. I do have Bucky's Everything cashews, which I'm going to eat right now because I'm starving. And then we're waiting for this fire to kick up a little bit more. So we get this water because I'm 100% having coffee. I mean, that's a dead given. All right, cocaine. Coffee. It's ready. We're primed. My nose is starting to run. And pickles are getting cold. Oh yeah, bud. Nose running, toes are cold. That's about it. Not bad. Not a bad day. This thing is pretty sweet. It's the little stove, little fire pit thing. If I put a Mylar blanket on the back of this tarp, I'm sure it would reflect heat off of it. And if I did like a rock wall or something on the other side, so I mean, just like a regular fire, it's just off the ground. It's pretty cool though. Get some coals in here so that I can get my water going. We'll be ready to get some coffee. If you didn't know, I live in a camper, and the temperature has been down to like 11 degrees the last few nights, and then last weekend it was down in the teens. Running heat, that camper does not like those temperatures. I've had my water freeze 3 times now. 4 times. Twice it sprung a leak. I got that fixed. And then last night it froze, but it didn't leak. So if I'm okay with it freezing and then thawing later, I just don't want to do it every night, but I'm just glad that it didn't leak. Because if they leak, then you got to fix something. If it doesn't leak, then it's just a waiting game and you just kind of deal with it, right? But yeah, it's been a adventure for sure. Still loving it. It's just the winter's not been kind to me so far. So the Joe's ready. Whoa. But I saw water. I was like, where the hell did that come from? Coffee time. Oh my God, it's so good. I know I do that every time, but it's coffee and I have a problem. Coffee problem. Trying to get this going again so I can do the water for the ramen. It's smoking me out. It's pretty exquisite blend there. Catch. Oh, almost. It's trying. Got some flamage in there. My word. I cannot see. I'm not used to having to fire this tiny. It's once the wood's gone, it's gone. It's real quick. I get some smoke in this tarp though. Know what I mean? It's so good. It's always so much better when you're outside. Which is amazing. I want to do another overnight before long in the snow, in the winter. I thought about it this weekend and then I had camper issues. And then the other thing was the low is like 7. I have a 0 degree bag, but I don't know, man. 7's cold, 7 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a lot, bub. So I didn't do it, obviously. There, you guys would have seen it. But yeah, got a fire, if you notice that. So I thought I'd do a day trip today. Sunday fun day. Yeah, if you didn't, I think I mentioned earlier, I did make a gear video with this. So if you want, go check out the gear video and then you can see what I brought. It's some oldies but goldies, but then some newer stuff as well. If you ever go to a surplus store and you see a wool officer's jacket for almost nothing, because this was $10, pick it up. It's so worth it, and it's so tough, and it was $10. So if I screw it up, who cares? Sorry, I'm getting smoked out. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm hoping that we're about done because we're running out of firewood here. Looks pretty decent there. I think that's noodly enough for the noodle club. What do you think? I think we're good. Because then by the time I'm done eating and burning my mouth on this, I should be able to pack it up so I can get back to the house to do adult things. Gross. I think it's eating time, folks. We got a nice black char on that titanium that I haven't used a lot of real fire with this pot, so it's earning its keep. I think these are good. They're just ramen noodles, so like you could actually eat them uncooked. You know what I'm saying? So we'll let that fire die down and let that cool off. And then by the time that's all done, maybe packing up and leaving. What do you want to bet I burn my mouth on this? Is it that hot or is it just because it's that cold out? And it was boiling. It's just that cold out. It wasn't that hot. Probably not quite done either, but I don't care. Because I'm eating it anyway. Yeah. Ooh, you want to touch that? Oh, that's bad. It's got tar. It's pine tar because this is all little pine branches all over the ground. I'm glad I made it. I thought about not making it because I didn't want to mess with it. It's really good. It's roast beef flavor. Roast beef. Anyway, I'm gonna eat. I'll get back to you whenever I get ready to break down Charlie Brown. Shut it down. While I finished eating, in between bites, I actually dumped the fire out and smothered it, covered it in snow, and kicked it around, stirred it, and made sure that was out. I have the broth left. It's really good, so I'm drinking that. I'm gonna show you. My nose is just running like ever so slightly. The sun is gorgeous. Gorgeous. To let it dry after I hung it up, so I put it in the snow to cool it off, and then it's got water stuck to it. Luckily it's warm enough with the sun, it'll actually melt it. And then I'll let that hang there while I finish tearing everything down. Let nature do it for me. I was talking about how these make tear down easy. So all you gotta do, so this line's tight, right? Won't come off of there. So if you come over to your taut line, drop your cordage there, and then loosen it. So you put some slack in your line, then you can take this out one-handed. This is kind of fun. It's got a stub on it. Bam, just drops. Then get to the next one. Too easy. Know what I mean? Last thing we gotta do is drop this guy line. Or guy line, I always called it, it's a ridge line. It's the proper time. So we've got the, whatchamacallit, knot, the taut line hitch to the inside, one on the outside. That knot. So if you just back it out, which I have this tail, I gotta take the long tail out, and it'll just fall apart. I did a knots video a couple years ago. Last year maybe? Say a couple years ago, last year. Alright. So that pulls out of it. And then this will fall apart. The other thing that you can do is the other end is real easy to get off of there because of the little spike that I did. This is easier too, and you'll have a ton of extra cordage. Anyway, good lord. This one, just loosen it up and pull. Your stick comes out. The whole thing comes off. Too easy. So you could just jam your cordage back in your bag, then it won't be ready for next time. I did jam my tarp back in its bag because then it bends in different areas and it doesn't end up wearing out along the creases. So you take it in your hand like this, around your thumb, around your pinky, around your thumb. Keep doing that. You want to leave your pull end with your bowline a little longer, so whenever you get ready to undo it and you want to use it next time, you just grab this and pull out, and it'll come apart nice and neat. So you keep going until you got a couple feet left. I mean, this is just a random piece of cordage, but it is kind of excessively long. I've got so much 550 cord from deployments, and I've bought a lot, and a team to find it All right, so I've got about yay much. What I'm gonna do here, keep it bunched up and tight, and start wrapping around the 550 and keeping it pretty tight, because it's all gonna keep it clean and together. And then there's probably a special name for this, but I don't know what it is. And then when you get to the end, sorry, you're up in a tree, you kind of loosen off that last part, tuck it under, and then pull it tight through. And then you want to reuse it, you just pull this out and the whole thing will come apart. Easy, easy. So that's it. The nose has got like that slight run. I hates it. Oh, about fell down. So you ever play the camera while you're walking? Idiot. We are doing our little jaunt out of here. So, like I said, I like how this bag sits. It's a new bag. It's an REI Ruck Pack 28, and it sits high. It's comfortable. I haven't done any major mileage with it, but I do enjoy it so far. So, yeah, a good little day. A little food, a little outdoorsy time, a little sunshine, some vitamin deltas. It's pretty. I mean, you can't be mad about that. Cannot be mad about it. Much worse days. So, I'm gonna go back to the truck. I'm gonna head to the house. I'll catch you guys next time I decide to randomly go into the mountains on Sunday.